You know, last week we got started with doing the stress response, and we only got partially through it. We actually just got through the very beginning of it. So I'd like to go through and actually revisit that again. We'll still do a little bit of Q&A, but I'd like to get through some of this protocol. You know, I know it's things that we have talked about before, and it's been in a class or two, but let's go through and address stress here. We'll add actually the use of brainwaves and a little bit of a vital center activity here with this. So, you know, as we go through and we do the brainwaves and the vital centers, and we go back and revisit things, we are going to be adding that into some of the existing protocols to amp up the things that we're already doing. It makes it significantly stronger. And so with that, we are going to be doing advanced healing for stress. We're going to go back to the respiratory function. And again, here are your choices. Frankincense, holy basil. Holy basil more so than just regular basil. If you have regular basil, it will work, but hyssop is always a good choice, especially hyssop decumbens. Rue can work here. And then spruce sitka. Actually, any spruce, but especially sitka. Now, if you have the Vital Center kit, the blend for the uvula. If you have the Vital Center kit, I strongly suggest pulling out the uvula for this. Okay, so begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your ajna, the area between your eyebrows. Yeah, if you don't have one of the oils, let us know so we can find you something, but I think a lot of you have at least one of these oils. Your awareness is between the eyebrows, the ajna. Move your awareness to the throat. Your awareness is on the throat, the center of your throat. The bottom of your throat, the throat minor. Continue to inhale on the throat minor. Now go to your cheek minors, the area below the cheekbone. the jaw minors, which are the areas in front of your ears where the jaw hinges. The holes in your ears, also known as the ear minors, now go to the back heart. Keep inhaling on your back heart. Move your awareness to the front solar plexus, below your ribs, on your upper abdomen. Move to your back solar plexus, your mid-back area. Just be still, be aware, keep your eyes closed, just let go. How's that starting to feel? Now, we're going to go into the physical stress. And like we discussed last week, marjoram is a really good choice here. Marjoram pulls you out of the fight-flight response, and it tones your vagus nerve, which is tied to the rest and repair mode. It makes it a little bit harder to go into fight-flight when the vagus nerve is toned. And so it also activates the heart, which keeps you out of lower emotions somewhat, and has a transmuting effect on the emotions that are already there. So it's not necessarily cleansing like expelling out, like how you would use an energetic expectorant of sorts, but it's transmuting. So it takes lower emotions and transmutes them and helps to release them. And so it's cleansing in a different kind of way. And so really super strong choice when it comes to physical stress. Also, rue is really good for pulling you out of fight-flight response. It doesn't have quite the toning effect on the vagus nerve like the marjoram does, but hyssop decumbens is very soothing when you're around a lot of people who are toxic or who are stressed out. So if you're around a lot of people that are stressed out or that is causing your stress, hyssop might be a little bit of a better choice, just because hyssop really reduces the tendency for us to absorb negativity from other people or from the environment. So if you're in a busy work environment, a toxic work environment, you're around a bunch of people who are stressed out, hyssop is really pretty solid when it comes to that. It will help prevent, if you use it regularly, it will help prevent you from taking things on in those environments. Holy basil is always a strong choice for any sort of stress condition. It helps to undo the effects of long-term stress. So, it pulls you out of a stress state, but like if you've just been in long periods of time where you've been stressed out, basil is really good for undoing that. So you have some variations here. You make the choice with the oils that you have. Now, if you have the brainwave kit, the special kit that, we can apply to a lot of different classes, the oil blend to use here would be the Gamma blend. Gamma would be really super good for shifting your body out of a stress state. So if you have Gamma, I would suggest let's experiment with that. Okay.
Does it need to be an actual physical environment, or could it also be just people you talk to by phone?
No, it could be by phone. It could be, family by phone. You're interacting with people even via email. Any version of that is still a toxic environment. You don't have to have physical presence from the person. Like if you're interacting with a lot of people during the day, you're still in that environment. So that's actually a very good question. So thanks for asking.
And then I put hyssop decumbens in, but if they just have a hyssop,
Yeah, just a regular hyssop will work. Yeah. Hyssop decumbens would be premium, but if you don't have that, regular hyssop still works. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin inhaling. And your awareness is on the front solar plexus. You're inhaling on your front solar plexus. Move your awareness to the back solar plexus. Your awareness is on the back solar plexus. Move to your front spleen and back spleen at the same time. So the left-hand side below the ribs on the front, and then directly on the back, just the direct opposite on the back side. So front and back at the same time. Go to your navel. Long, slow, deep breaths on your navel. Go an inch and a half below your navel to the navel minor. the bottom of the tailbone, the basic chakra. The soles of your feet. Just be still, be aware, keep your eyes closed. Just let go of everything. Let's do that application one more time. So again, begin inhaling, same oil. Your awareness is on the front solar plexus. Your awareness is on your back solar plexus. Go to the front and back spleen on the left-hand side. Your navel. An inch and a half below your navel. The bottom of your tailbone, the basic chakra. The bottom of your tailbone. The soles of your feet. Just be still, be aware. Just be still, be aware, just let go. Now let's do emotional stress, stressing the emotional body. So again, choices, your frankincense, lavender, neroli, spikenard, vetiver, St. John's wort, stress ease, and if you have the brainwave blends, theta.
And again, theta is the A+ choice.
Stress ease and theta. I mean, all of the ones I just said are A's, but the stress ease and the theta are the two strongest ones. Okay, begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your heart. Move your awareness to your navel. Move your awareness to the crown, the top of your head. Just be still, be aware. Begin inhaling again. Your awareness is on the heart. Move your awareness to the navel. Your awareness is on the crown. Just be still. Let everything go. Just be still. Just be still. Just let go. Okay, let's do mental stress. So here you can use aloes, Cape snowbush, holy basil, hyssop, lavender, Litsea cubeba, Melissa, Sitka, or vetiver. If you have the brainwave kit, you can use the blend for Delta. Begin inhaling, your awareness is on your heart. The center of your chest. Go to your back heart. The back of your head, opposite your eyebrows on the back side, the back head. Your forehead, where the hairline is. Your brain, the right side of your brain, the left side of your brain. and the top of your head, the crown. Just be still, be aware, keep your eyes closed, just be still. Let's do this again. Your awareness is on your front heart. Your awareness is on your back heart. Your awareness is on the back head. the forehead, where the hairline is. The temples. The brain, each side of the brain. Messed up. And then the crown. Okay, be still, be aware, just let go. How do you feel? Sorry, on that last round, the first time I didn't do the temples, but I meant to, so apologize.
Do you want them to share? Or would you-
Yeah, go ahead and unmute and share. Unmute and talk or type in.
Probably didn't know you were gonna relax so quick. Go ahead, Ginger.
Hi, this is Ginger.
Hey, Ginger.
You know, it's really interesting. I got on late because I wasn't home. And these last few years, my life has been really hectic and I've been under a lot of stress. So when you did the part, I'm just thankful that you did this, because when you did the part on the emotional, when we got to the navel, my eyes welled up with tears. I didn't cry. Apparently it was a release. And so, you know, thank you for helping me release some of the things. You know, you feel like you're letting go, but it's still there. We had, you know, we had a fire in October of last year. We're going to be moving back in July. So you know, I still think about the fire. I still
no joke.
Still I still well up. So I'm still releasing from that experience.
So like with that, like, you know, the emotional component, you know, that segment is like really short. And so sometimes what I have people do with that is that particular segment, I have them do it 7 times. we only did it like twice, but like you could keep going, and it just keeps going deeper and deeper.
Which oil do you think I should use since I'm still healing from that experience? Out of all of them, which one do you think would be best for me? I was
Yeah,
using I think I was using frankincense.
frankincense is pretty solid. I'd probably stick with the frankincense, actually.
Okay, thank you so much.
Even if you had other oils, I'd probably still direct you to the frankincense.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Glad to hear that you're getting to move back.
Yeah, it's a lot. We had to move everything out.
I bet. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, fires are messy.
yeah, and it's so funny. I go to physical therapy. My physical therapist, her house burned right before Christmas down to the ground. So I
Wow.
was able to relate to her, helping her heal. through her
Right.
grief. That makes sense. Yeah.
Man. That is traumatic.
So I was cause I make soap and I make skincare products, and my husband's daughter was building a website for me. And when this happened, I just threw everything to the curb. And so yesterday she talked about it, and as I'm talking to her on FaceTime on her phone, my left eye just started like crying. And she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I didn't know that was going to happen. She was like, "You crying?" I'm like, "No," and I'm wiping my eyes. So it's still, I'm still releasing from that experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that had to be crazy.
So I just told her right now, website is not a priority. It's just, getting better. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You keep us posted, okay?
Okay.
Someone said very relaxed, very relaxing. Thank you. In reference to stress protocol, the one from the allergy class, is it just about allergies or is it more of a general stress protocol?
I'd have to go back and look at it. There's so many kind of variations of it. Sometimes we're doing it to target things. I'd have to go back and look, to be honest with you. Like I have probably 15 or 16 different variations of stress protocols. So, sometimes they're specific to a type of health issue, and sometimes it's more difficulties with psych. Let me go back and look. Take a look real quick.
Right on that one, it was just the stress response.
Oh, okay, so it was just the stress response. I'm like you guys, like when I do treatments, I have to look things up in the booklets. Even though I wrote the booklets, I still have to look them up like you guys. Like it's so much information that, yeah, so it's more about the response rather than the stress. There's many levels or layers to stress. One of the things that we wanted to start introducing is the use of the brainwaves and some of the vital centers and some of the different protocols. And so we were going through and revisiting this because, for one, stress is always present in just about everybody's life. And if not, it will be there eventually, right? And then the thing with the brainwaves and starting to utilize the vital centers if used appropriately really takes it up a notch. So we're doing the sleep memory class, and for most of you it's all a review, and so it's a free review. But what we're doing is, when we present that, we're going to present the normal information and an upgraded version that has the brainwaves and the vital centers intertwined in that. And so it's almost like having an advanced sleep memory class while we're teaching the normal sleep memory class. And so even though we're visiting something that we've done several times, it should be very helpful to those who have even had that class several times. And, I was going through and looking at my notes, and, we're going to refine a little bit more, make it a little bit easier for lymphatic treatments and things like this. And so there'll be a little bit of some refinements of things, nothing massive, but just little tweaks here and there. So
They're kind of wondering, what does that mean about response? Aren't these all about response?
No, there's the response is just the like the trigger, because when we talk on the weekend, we'll be talking about like 7 different levels, like the 7 different perceptions. And so responses are just tied to your physiological emotions. Once they're there, you have the byproduct of what happens when things are in an agitated state. You have them in the instinctive mind. You have them in the higher emotions. You have them in the critical mind. You have these different levels or layers of stress. And so a stress response is not just a blanket response. And so it targets something very specific. And so we're trying to do it so that you don't have to know all the anatomy, physiology to go through and be able to treat it. But even something like stress can have very profound effects. I mean, that's why PTSD is such a thing, is it's not just a simple like stress response, or the person got stressed out or there was a trauma. There's a lot of layers to it. And so when you start to understand the layers, which we're going to start addressing on the weekend, you can kind of see how you need to like almost like have just a very multifaceted approach to treat these different conditions. Nothing is ever as easy as just symptom and relief. Medications can be that way, but there are still other responses that get thrown out of whack. And so you would have side effects or impact on the physiology or psychology. And here we're trying to go through and address all of this. And so it's a bit more of an holistic approach rather than just symptom-oriented approaches. A lot of times people think holistic is just using something natural to do what Western medicine does. And that's actually not holistic medicine.
Go ahead, Peggy.
Hey, Miss Peggy.
Yeah, have to hit the little speaker. I'm so relaxed. It was hard to hit the little speaker up there. And from a respiratory perspective, breathing is stressful. So the only time we don't have stress is when we're no longer breathing. But
Right.
I know this isn't the way you meant it, but when they in respiratory, that's the way they teach it. And so I was listening, just breathing is stressful. So but I think it's wonderful that you have us do the little clip today on the newsletter where you have us do our abdominal breathing. And not everybody knows how to breathe the way you were instructing them. We teach them that in respiratory, but that's a form of exercise and a form of release. And
Right.
it's real important. If everybody breathed like that all the time, we'd be a little less stressed, I think.
Yeah, that actually reduces the stress response. I mean, you guys know that in respiratory therapy, but when you're trying to calm down the stress response and change a person's like triggers to stress, part of it is actually that abdominal breathing.
Yeah, because when you're in pain, oftentimes people hold their breath, and with all the stress with the COVID and things, people are holding their breath. They need to breathe.
Yeah.
So these classes are awesome in that even if I do nothing else all weekend but breathe, I'm exercising. I realize this is really a good thing. So totally non sequitur. I wanted to, and if it's okay to ask a question.
Yeah, of course.
I ordered jasmine, but on the site there are 2 jasmines, and I thought I posed the question someplace, but I'm wondering what is the difference between the 2 jasmines other than the $5?
The absolute is a little bit of a heavier note. The Sambuck is a little lighter. Sometimes when I'm treating fatigues like postpartum depression and things like that, just like when the body's been run down, I tend to use the absolute more. When it's just like trying to be more uplifting, I mean, we're splitting hairs here. They both work for the same thing, right? But when we're treating things more for like on the emotional, mental level, or, I'll tend to go to the Sambach because it's a little bit of a lighter note.
Okay, so if someone
Yeah.
has grief and depression, which one would you choose?
Either one of them works, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm good. I
Yeah,
bought it
yeah,
right now.
either one works. I mean, even with what I'm talking about, we're splitting hairs, like both
Yeah.
would do it. It's just one does it a little bit better than the other.
Okay,
A lot of times in things that have blends, I actually put them both in. I'll put a little bit of one and more of the other. And so, they're just different versions of the same thing, different ways of distilling it. So,
okay, thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. This was
Yeah.
very enjoyable. And
Yeah.
are we gonna do another one or just the one today?
I'm gonna see some questions first,
Okay, I'll let
and
you go.
then we'll
Thank
see.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And then
everybody.
we'll see. Yeah.
Thank you.
We had and very relaxed as well, very relaxing. Just what I needed. Perfect.
Yeah. Who doesn't need a little stress relief?
Me too. My brain has been mush since the class this weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the aging process. It was an intense, awesome class.
Yeah. The weekend was intense. I mean, I was even wiped out on Monday. I didn't even do it the way you guys did it.
I really needed this. I'm feeling so grateful. And also, guys, if you have questions, I know we started off just
Yeah, we just
kind of
jumped right
mushing
in.
your brain right there, but
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions. It doesn't have to be just about stress. Anything goes. I just wanted to fit this in before we got rolling with the questions.
I still feel semi out of my body from last weekend.
Yeah.
Any suggestions to be less airheaded?
I mean, peppermint is a bit of a mental stimulant. Basil would work as well. And then things that are just kind of grounding would be like spikenard or black pepper. I tend to like spikenard and vetiver. Vetiver will bring you back in your body.
How to use cortisol reg besides a salt bath? Can you put it on wrist or make a lotion?
Yeah, you can't put it on wrist, but I would actually make it into a lotion or a massage oil, and then rub it on your body, like your abdomen, your back. If you have parts of your body that are compromised, like say you have a bad knee or bad hip, bad shoulder, rub it on that area. Cortisol levels tend to be a little bit higher, and that part of the body has a like kind of a form of exhaustion. And so when cortisol levels are higher in that part of the body, lymphatic movement is not as strong. And so it helps to strengthen the body, helps to release the hormones in that area, and eventually will help improve lymphatic function. And so you can rub it all over your body or on the problem spots. If you don't have a problem spot, but you just feel like you have lots of stress, rub it on your abdomen.
Go ahead, Letty.
Hey, Letty.
Hi guys, how are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so really quick, so I have about 8 composition books full of notes and about 2 spirals. And I was thinking if you don't mind going over neuropathy again, because by the time I find it, you know how many notes I have? Like years of notes from you.
Let's see what I can find. Boy, can you guys hear the thunder outside?
Yes, we can hear it.
Yeah, it sounds like we're being bombed.
So I'm asking this for my assistant for my classroom. Like, it's just because I feel bad. I see him walking around like the way with his hands, like I can tell like they hurt, hands, and his feet hurt all day. He says that they feel like they're like, when you sit on your
Yeah,
foot for a while and then you get up and it's all like tingly.
yeah. Part of the, like, I'm not finding my notes real quick. I know it's in here somewhere, but let's just start to problem solve it. So here's part of the issue is there's this thing called the myelin sheath. And sometimes with neuropathy that starts to break down somewhat. And so it's just the ability for the nerve to fire is not as good as it used to. Yeah. So it has like that effect of falling asleep, but part of it is that myelin sheath has been compromised. And so one of the best ways to go through and treat it is treat a lymphatic function in the area and then venous flow, getting the blood out of the area, because sometimes what's happening is there's too much fluid in the area and it's starting to compromise, starting to put pressure on the nerves. So between the lymphatic function and the venous flow, getting things moving back towards the heart, it can help. You would use just even things like cedar or red pine is a really good venous tonic. Lymphatic blend, just anything lymphatic will be helpful. And then from there, like things that are for neuropathic pain. So, the blend, pain relief for neuropathy or neuropathic pain, and anything with mint in it is always good. I also like to give them a little bit of galbanum internally, just to take some of the tension out of the body. Yeah. There's not a one great treatment or foolproof way to treat it. And it depends on how bad it is. If it's a byproduct of diabetes, then you got to look at, trying to regulate the blood sugar and all that. But as far as the neuropathy is concerned, that's a good place to start.
And it is diabetes.
Yeah,
it is diabetes related. Yeah.
Yeah, really like double down on the lymphatic and the venous flow to the heart. He's doing his insulin and all that. He's regulating his blood sugar.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then stick with what we were talking about. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the blood sugar thing. Like if he's got that regulated with medicine, just try to get him out of pain.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Keep me posted on that though.
Okay, thank you.
How do you use venous tonics?
Well, venous tonic is like anything like cedar or red pine, and you would apply it topically, either in an alcohol base or in a massage oil. You could also do salt baths, but you got to do it kind of often. So massage oil or like a liniment.
A couple times a day then, at least?
If you can, a lot of times just getting a person to use it once a day is good. But if you can do it multiple times a day, it's even better.
Is there a protocol to treat type 2 diabetes?
With essential oils, it's really hard to do. I would say go through and it would be more about like herbs and things like that. Oils don't really treat diabetes very well.
For spider veins, can you make a liniment with red pine?
You could do that. I would actually add a little bit of rosemary to that, but emphasis on more the red pine or the cedar. I like to use red pine. It's a really strong venous tonic. Yeah, that should be helpful.
Someone just had a side share. They said after the Ajna class last weekend, I don't feel like myself. I don't feel the same. I'm not worried. Just notice a shift.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're strong classes. Wait till we get to the throat and the heart.
Sonia?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Hey, Sonia.
I was reading on the Mayo Clinic website that they regard neuropathy as part of autonomic dysregulation.
Mhm.
Do you see that connection?
I mean, I think there's types. I mean, I think the thing with neuropathy is there's a lot, there's different kinds, there's different causes. And so there could be some from that source. And then you have the most common type is just a byproduct of diabetes. And so, you know, the pathway is compromised.
Well, on their site, it was saying it can be caused by genetic or immune problems or toxicities or by infections or inflammations. And
Well,
so
toxicities and immune issues.
Which one?
Toxicities and immune issues affect the peripheral nerves because they don't have the protection that the other parts of the nervous system has. So again, it goes back to what I was saying in the first part.
That
The breaking down of the myelin sheath. There's lots of reasons why it happened, but the issue is the myelin sheath.
okay.
Does that make sense? Like if there's toxicity, then it hits the myelin sheath. The autoimmune issues sometimes or immune issues can actually attack the myelin sheath.
So I can see how those upset the regulation of autonomic nervous systems. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, first part is just get them out of pain. You know, because the pain is not good. Like pain always throws the body into a deeper state of stress. And so if you can get them out of pain, then you can start addressing the issues that are causing it. But for first cases, you just got to get them out of pain first.
And
You're not really going to undo the degeneration of the myelin sheath, but you can make them comfortable and then start going after the problems.
so you're using that lymphatic function and venous flow for the pain?
Yeah. Well, you're using it to keep the blood from being as toxic, getting fresh blood into the area. The old blood tends to trigger the sensory nerves, and poor lymphatic movement tends to trigger the sensory nerves. And so by going through and moving the venous blood and the lymphatic movement, you have a potential for calming down the sensory nerves. And so then it becomes easier to manage the type of pain it is. And then from there, you can start going deeper and treating more of the problem. But if you have old, blood that's been stagnant or not circulating quite like it should, or really poor lymphatic movement, The sensory nerves fire from 5, 10, even 15 times the normal rate. And so you're going to have pain syndromes. So first thing you can do is just move the lymph, move the blood, like move fluids. That's the best thing you can do right off the bat. If you look, a lot of times when people have neuropathy, their veins are really super dilated. Their veins are dilated, and the color of their skin is not, like, it's kind of whitish. Or it just looks like it's not great circulation. And it's like the blood is stagnant, it's pooling. It's not moving like it should.
Mm.
Yeah. Anytime you want to pump the blood too in the lymph, always opening up, the respiratory tract is always a good thing. But I usually just start with the venous and lymphatic movement. Calm down those sensory nerves.
Okay.
Okay, so we talked about like doing a little bit extra on the emotional thing when we were talking to Ginger. Let's bounce back and actually do a little bit more of that emotional stress. So frankincense, lavender, spikenard, vetiver, St. John's wort, stresses. If you have the brainwave blend theta, you can use the theta blend. Let's do several rounds of this. Okay, begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your heart. Move your awareness to the navel. Your crown, the top of your head. Just be still, be aware, keep your eyes closed, just be still. Begin inhaling again, same oil. Your awareness is on the heart. Move your awareness down to the navel. Up to your crown. Just be still, be aware. Keep your eyes closed. Begin inhaling again. Your awareness is on your heart. And awareness is on the navel. The crowd. Just be still, be aware, just let go. Again, begin inhaling. Your navel. The crown. Just be still, be aware, just let go. How do you feel? That was just what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, I lost count,
Yeah.
but
But you can feel it keeps going deeper and deeper.
May I say that I halfway through, I got tried like a tickle at the throat and I coughed a number of times, took a sip of water, and I broke out in a heavy sweat. I continued doing the theta, but that was a completely opposite kind of response from my body, or maybe it was cumulative. I'm not quite sure. But that was,
The sweat, where was the sweat on? Like your forehead or your abdomen or?
it's on my forehead, under my armpits, on my legs. I've got this, it was kind of like I suddenly had a blast of heat coming out.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
was-
that's a little bit of an autonomic response.
Okay.
Sometimes what starts to happen like that, that's why sometimes I'll pace it, is sometimes you start shifting the body so much is the body starts to, like you're shifting it out of a stress state and it almost causes a stress state in the body. Like it's a weird thing to say, but anytime you affect change in the body, it causes the body a little bit of stress. So that's why sometimes we'll do it and then I'll kind of stop and yeah. You know, you're
Well-
letting go of a lot of emotional tension, and the body has to adapt to that.
So soaking might be a real good thing.
Yeah, or I mean, with what we just did, just giving it a couple minutes would probably be okay. You could
My
put a
first-
couple drops of marjoram on your wrist, and that would probably just knock it out. Yeah, to be honest with
Okay, I'm real fond of that balsam spray.
you. Yeah, no joke. Huh?
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
any other shares after that second round? You can type in, unless you're already passed out.
Yeah, how'd that treat you, Ginger?
I didn't fully participate. I was cooking.
Oh, that's okay. Taking care of business.
I
I
have to
love it.
do it. Yeah, I'm a little late. I got in late today, so everything is behind schedule.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Well, good luck doing all that, and I hope everything goes smoothly for you.
Thanks. I have to do it later. I did some of it, but I didn't do the first one. I did the second one. So
Yeah. Well, I hope everything going with your transition. I hope that all goes smooth.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you guys. You know, I have a couple more.
Yeah, just to share. It feels like I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah, bedtime. Yeah, no joke. No joke.
What's that?
So, okay, I have a meeting here in just a few minutes, and so we're going to go just a little bit early because we have lightning happening, and I have to put the car in the garage. Otherwise, it might get struck by lightning. So,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're so welcome. Love you guys, and I'll see some of you Wednesday night. Hopefully, I see all you guys on the weekend. It's a free
Yes.
weekend for the study group, the spa weekend.
See you then.
Yeah,
Thanks,
see you
Greg.
guys.
Thanks,
You bet.
Sam.
Take care.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
You bet. Take care. Bye bye.